Ahoy friends, welcome to building the Alpha Dory. I'm Dan and this is a project to build a Chamberlain racing dory from John Gardner's The Dory book. Illustrations by Sam Manning. Today we're going to be out in the shop cutting the scarves for the shear planks. So yeah, let's get out there and see how it goes. So first thing to do is square up the ends of these planks that we're going to be scarfing together. And so what I want to do is match up the curvature of the bottom edge of these planks. All of the previous planks that we've been scarfing, we've been cutting the scarf joints to align with the straight top edge of the straight edge of the planks, whether that was the top or bottom, it didn't matter. On this plank, there's a little extra swoop in the stern, so this plank won't have a straight edge. The top edge of the plank and the bottom edge of the plank are both going to have some curvature. Right now we've got a straight edge, and what we're going to do is we're going to scarf the plank together and then put a batten on it and get a curved edge out of the two planks. This is just for getting it out of the board. It's got a straight edge on one side because the board had a straight edge. So what I want to do is sort of average the curvature of the bottom edge of both boards, because I'm going to be trying to, as closely as I can, align the bottom edge of the board so that they'll be, which is already cut to a curve, and we're going to cut the curve in the top edge of the board, which will give the shear its the proper swoop towards the transom. It's got a little bit of kick in the plank. So what I'll do is I just took the square and I put it so that it was just touching right on the edge on both ends on this plank, and I'm kind of averaging the curvature out. It's bellying out a bit in the middle, but it's close enough for what we're doing. Yeah. Alright, and then strike the same angle on the piece it's being scarfed to, which is a short scarfed section that runs from the last frame to the transom. And so typically, especially on smaller boats, smaller Swampscott dories, typically the planks would not be scarfed. They'd be cut out of a single piece of wood, except for this shear plank, which is on many Swampscott dories traditionally scarfed. And it was a scarf joint that was put in right at that aft frame the aft frame supported the inside of the edge of the lap, the scarf, and the scarf would be clinch nailed or riveted depending on how you're putting the boat together. And then the feather edge would be nailed into the frame, and on the outside nailed into the frame, and then the frame supported the feather edge on the inside, and the joint was bedded in usually white lead or roofing tar or whatever was handy to make that watertight joint. And this is, like I said, the shear plank, so it's well above the water line. You know, in most situations anyway, so. Yeah, it would be nice to clamp this. I suppose I could use one of the sticks here. Let's see. Trying to cut this as close to the end of the plank as I can, just to leave as much wood. We got enough wood to work with. These planks are about a foot over long, but it's just the thrift in me. I am going to try and cut as much out of the end of this plank as I can. You see, we're getting into a knot right here. So like I say, they're about a foot over long, so we'll see if this knot ends up in it. If it does, it's not a big deal, but if I can get away with not putting this knot in the boat, then that's great. Okay, so that's this one. I'll do this one and the other long end. So I'll strike a line on there again, like I said, averaging the distances along the curvature of the bottom, which will get us close enough to the right angle for the scarf to work. around the camera here too. Alright, this one's not too far off. And I'm kind of also eyeballing the ends of the wood for checks. So the ends of the planks here are actually the ends of the boards that came from the mill. So I'm kind of looking for checking or cracking and coming in an inch or so if I, or you know, to the extent of the checks from when the board was drying and whatnot. Just coming in a little bit to get rid of any of that. Clamp it down and go for it. Smells good. Yeah. Wish we had smell-o-vision. It's just that pine, turpentine sort of. It's so much nicer. Just a gorgeous scent. Alright. Okay, so boards are squared up to the angle of the scarf. Now I can mark that scarf almost precisely 5 inches back from the edge of the board. And since we don't have a square edge like all the other planks have scarfed, we're scarfing from a square edge, but on this one we don't have that, so we'll be scarfing. I'll just measure from the cut edge, because that is our square edge. The top edge isn't what we squared the scarf to. So I'm just measuring in as close as I can to exactly 5 inches. And I like putting the 4-inch mark as well, so when the adze takes the 4-inch mark, I can pretty much stop there, and then I'll hand plane back to the 5-inch mark. That's only like maybe 1/4 of an inch of wood to remove, or probably even less at that angle. So alright, so let's see, this board, and this board can get scarfed together. just want to make sure that I'm cutting the scarfs on the correct sides of the boards so that they'll go together. You don't want to, because these already have edges, they already have a curved edge and a straight edge, so you don't want to cut the scarfs and then find out that the scarfs are on the same side. So right now they're on the same side. When you flip this board, over, the scarf will be on the correct side to mate up with this one. Alright, so these are ready to go with the ads, rough out with the ads. And then I'll do the same on the other set of planks, and we'll be ready to start chopping wood. Alright, so we'll make sure the looks like I went a little bit far on the close to the edge on that one. It's the way the grain was running, so we'll see how it pretty close along that edge. Alright. So yeah. Take the clamp off, and I'll get down the next two boards.
Yeah, right down to a feather edge on that one. So I'll have to take a look at that first one I cut, see if we need to recut it because of the way the grain split out. But other than that, we should be good. I think I'll probably be able to get that first one on the bench with the plane. Even though it did split out, it split out in the right direction and not too far back, so shouldn't be a big deal. Yeah, so not a lot of waste from 4 scarves. Yeah, it's a fairly small amount of lost wood. But yeah, that's got them rough cut anyway. Next thing is to put them up on the bench and clean them up. Thanks for stopping by building the Alpha Dory. And yeah, this channel wouldn't be possible without all your support, likes, subscribes, comments, questions, and critiques. So yeah, just thanks for being a part of this project, and we will see you all next time out in the shop. Bye.